Welcome to the LG CNS e-learning video series. Module 44, Point of Care Solutions Device. In this module, you will learn how to use and access patient information on the LG CNS Point of Care Solutions POCS device. In this video, you'll learn about prerequisite setups required before logging into the POCS, viewing and documenting ADL tasks through the My Patients list, on-screen navigation, power, back arrow, return arrow, set time and current time, accessing and reviewing the patient's cautions and alerts, recording a change of condition, COC, viewing a patient's personal and/or scheduled appointments, documenting ADL tasks using the To-Do All indicator, documenting tasks that were not completed using the To-Do in Comp indicator, documenting restorative care, sending messages to other users using the message envelope, documenting completed tasks for patients not assigned to you, the use of the tower functions, View All, Refresh, and Network, logging out of the POCS. Let's get started. Logging into the POCS for the first time. The Point of Care Solutions device, or POCS, requires a minimum of 1 and possibly 2 areas of system setup prior to initial use. First, before the POCS device is available for patient ADL documentation, the ADL plan of care for the patient must be set up. In addition, if your center is using CNA assigned functionality, then the CNA assigned schedule must also be set up in the system. Once a patient's ADL plan of care is set up, the system triggers the patient's scheduled ADL tasks to the POCS device based upon entries on the ADL plan of care. After setup, the CNA assigned schedule triggers the POCS device and displays the patient scheduled ADLs to the specific CNA or caregiver to whom the patient has been assigned. Then, as tasks are documented by the CNAs or caregivers, the recorded ADLs trigger back to the EHR system for nurses to monitor. To learn more, such as detailed explanations of creating a plan of care and using CNA assignment, view the ADL plan of care and the ADL CNA Assign e-learning videos. A few more things to learn before using the POCS for the first time. The Power button is located on the back of the device. Push and hold the button down a few seconds to turn the device on or off. The Back button returns you to the previous page, or it may be used to dismiss a keyboard function. Before logging in, always check the battery and Wi-Fi display at the top of the device to ensure that there is sufficient connectivity and battery life to complete your work. Now, to log into the device, enter your assigned ID and press Next to navigate to the next field. Enter your 4-digit PIN number and then press Done. Finally, press Login. Once logged in to the device, the default screen is the Point of Care Solutions dashboard. How do I document the ADL tasks I perform with my patients? The My Patients icon is located at the top of the screen. Touch the icon and the My Patients list opens. Patients' names and room numbers display below. Note, if a patient is signed out of the center, the Sign Out indicator is displayed to the right of the patient's name. Touch a patient's name to select them from the list, and the patient's assigned ADL task screen opens. Diagnosis and caution alerts entered in the patient's plan of care appear first. Note, you should review cautions for the patient each time you see this page because a patient's cautions can change often. To return to the previous screen, click the return arrow in the header. The patient's ADL tasks appears. Note, the number displayed on the task icon represents the number of assigned tasks that remain for that resident for the current shift. To access the patient's task list, touch the task icon. The task list for that patient displays below. Touch a task to select it from the list. The task question and answer window opens for that specific task. Information and guidance for the task are listed. Swipe down with your finger to answer the questions within the task using the touchpad. Task performance answers default to the current time. If this is not the actual time a task was performed, touch the Set Time Radio button to document the correct time. Use the drop-downs to select the hour and the minute that the task was actually performed. If needed, touch the Note button to leave a note. Type the message in the text field that opens. Then touch the back arrow to close the keyboard. Now touch the Confirm button to save the note. Please be aware that nurses are not alerted that notes have been entered unless they access and review the ADL management tools. Be sure to tell your nurse any pertinent information that you are entering as a note so that they are alerted immediately. All notes entered become a permanent part of the patient's record. After you have completed documenting the ADL task, touch the Confirm button, then touch Yes. The documentation count is displayed next to the task that you completed. Complete patient tasks as before, then touch the return arrow in the header to exit the patient's ADL task list and return to the previous screen. How can I review a patient's cautions and alerts? If there are cautions, the indicator N displays on the caution icon. Anytime you need to view a patient's caution screen, touch the caution icon. The cautions that have been entered into the patient's plan of care display. Once viewed, touch the return arrow in the header or touch the back arrow at the bottom to return to the previous screen. We'll use the back arrow this time. How do I record a change of condition? The COC, or change of condition icon, allows you to record any patient change of condition. Touch the COC icon and the COC list appears. Touch the change of condition to open the question screen. Again, the system defaults to the current time radio button. So if the COC is recorded at the time observed, no further action is needed. If you noticed the COC at any time other than the current time, touch the Set Time Radio button to record the time the COC was actually observed. Use the drop-downs to select the hour and the minute that the COC was observed. Select all appropriate answers for the COC that was observed. If needed, touch the Note button to leave a note. Type the message in the text field that opens. Then touch the back arrow to close the keyboard. Now touch the Confirm button to save the note. Remember, nurses are not automatically notified that notes have been entered. Please be sure to tell the nurse any pertinent information that you are entering as a note. All notes entered become a permanent part of the patient's record. After you have completed documenting the COC, touch the Confirm button. Touch Yes to complete it. Touching the Confirm button triggers an alert to the alert badge within the menu bar on the Charge Nurse's desktop LG CNS application. The nurse can now review the change of condition recorded by the CNA and document any further action necessary. Note: the alert will also be shown on the 24-hour report. Note that the COC count is updated next to the change of condition that you have completed. When you are finished recording change of conditions, touch the return arrow in the header to exit the screen. When you are finished with the ADL task for the patient, touch the X at the bottom of the screen to exit the patient's task menu. How do I use the To Do All indicator to document ADL tasks? The To Do All indicator icon at the top displays the count of ADLs that are due to be completed for your assigned patients during your shift. Note, the number displayed remains the same for the entire shift as it represents the original number of residents assigned tasks for the current shift. You can view and also document tasks through the To Do All task list. To access the list and document patient tasks, follow these steps. Step 1. Touch the To Do All indicator. The assigned tasks for your patients are displayed. Step 2. Use your finger to scroll down the screen to view each patient and the respective assigned tasks. Step 3. Touch on a task to open the question screen. Now answer the questions regarding the task that is being performed. Step 4. Touch the Note button if necessary to leave a note message. As described earlier, be sure to let a nurse know about pertinent note information. Step 5. Touch the Confirm button, then touch Yes to finish. The documented answers are recorded to the patient's ADL record and the ADL task count is updated. How do I know how many ADL tasks still need to be completed? The To Do In-Comp indicator displays how many current shift assigned ADL tasks remain to be completed for your patients. To view the remaining task list, touch the To Do In-Comp indicator window. A list appears showing the assigned patient tasks that were either not completed or did not occur. Scroll to the patient for whom you want to document a task or tasks that did not occur. Touch to check the boxes of the tasks that did not occur, then touch the Did Not Occur button below. The Note window opens. If necessary, leave a note message. As described earlier, be sure to let a nurse know pertinent note information as to why the task did not occur. The To Do In-Comp indicator counts down the number of tasks that were checked off and removed from the assigned tasks. Can I view patients' appointments made in the Patient Schedule module? There are two ways to access a patient's schedule of personal and/or medical appointments that have been entered in via the application's Patient Schedule module. Follow along with the first method. The patient schedule can be accessed by touching the clock icon. Your assigned patients who have scheduled appointments for the current day are listed. For each patient, touch the plus sign icon to expand and view the patient's scheduled appointments. Touch the minus sign icon to collapse the patient's scheduled appointments. The second method, to access only a specific patient's scheduled appointments, begins with the selected patient's task menu. Note, if there are appointments scheduled, the indicator N displays on the Schedule icon. Touch the Patient Schedule icon to open the Schedule window. The patient appointments are listed. To close the schedule, touch the return arrow in the header. Touch the X at the bottom of the screen to exit the patient's task menu and return to the dashboard. How do I document my restorative care tasks? The restorative icon is used to view and/or record a patient's restorative tasks. Use your finger to slide the dashboard icons left or right. The restorative icon is visible on the far right. Touch the restorative icon. The list of patients assigned to restorative tasks displays in the restorative window. As before, if a patient is signed out of the center, the Sign Out indicator is displayed to the right of the patient's name. Touch on a patient's name in the list. The assigned scheduled restorative tasks open. Click on the task you need to document. Note, a patient may have more than one restorative task. The goal and approach for the selected restorative task is displayed. Use the legend for insight in documenting the task. If the task is being withheld, enter a W in the minutes field. If the patient refused to perform the task, enter an R in the minutes field. If the patient has been discharged, enter a D in the minutes field. We'll enter the minutes that the patient spent on this task in the Minutes field. Touch in the field to open the keyboard and type the results of the assigned restorative. Touch the back arrow to close the keyboard. When you are finished typing, touch the Confirm button. Now touch Yes. The results are now recorded to the patient's restorative record. Note, this restorative documentation is now recorded and shows as done. Continue documenting any other restorative tasks as needed. When you have completed documenting restorative tasks for this patient, touch the return arrow in the header to return to the list of patients that have restorative tasks scheduled. How do I send a message to other users? The messaging envelope feature allows you to communicate with other partners within the center through the message inbox. To begin, touch the message icon at the top. Follow these steps to send a message. First, select the Buddy tab. All partners' names are listed. Partners that are currently logged into the application or the POCS device are indicated by the On indicator to the right of their name. Next, touch a user's name from the list. The new message screen opens. Touch in the text field to open the keyboard and type your message. Touch the back arrow to close the keyboard. Finally, touch the Send Message button. Touch Yes to confirm. The message is sent to the selected user. Select the Inbox tab to view messages that were sent to you. View messages that you have sent to other users on the Sent tab. What functions can I access from the tower icon? The tower icon allows you to access the View All Patients, Refresh, or Network options. Let's review each one. While in My Patients window, the View All option becomes visible under the tower icon. Touch View All to list all patients within the center. Use this feature to document on a patient that was not assigned to you. For example, you may be asked to bathe another CNA's assigned patient. You'll need to document that action. Begin by sorting the list to a specific hall by touching the drop-down arrow at the top of the View All screen. Now choose the patient that you bathed. When touching the patient's name from the View All list, the patient's diagnosis and cautions appear. Touch the return arrow in the header to close the caution window to open the patient's task access window at the bottom of the device's screen. Touch the task icon. The patient's plan of care ADL tasks tiles display. Touch the bathing tile. Document the task in the same manner as when documenting a patient from your My Patients window. Touch the Confirm button when finished, then touch Yes. The bath is now recorded in the patient's record. Note, to access the Vitals tile, use your finger to scroll the screen up and the Vitals tile displays in the window. The Refresh option in the tower icon drop-down refreshes the page that you are currently on. Finally, touch the Network button to refresh your network connection. How do I log out of the POCS? To log out of the device at the end of your shift or during a break, from the dashboard screen, touch the Back button at the bottom of the device. Note, if you are on any screen other than the dashboard, you may need to touch the Back button on the device multiple times until you see the notice, "Do you want to log out?" If you are sure you want to log out, touch the Yes button. You are now logged out, and the system returns to the login screen. Important documentation tip. The device will alert you when you are 5 minutes from the end of your shift. You can document for up to 1 hour after your shift if you do not log out. If you log out after the end of your shift, You will not be able to log in again to continue documenting. This concludes our lesson. In this video, you learned about prerequisite setups required before logging into the POCS, viewing and documenting ADL tasks through the My Patients list, on-screen navigation, power, back arrow, return arrow, set time and current time, accessing and reviewing the patient's cautions and alerts, recording a change of condition, COC, viewing a patient's personal and/or scheduled appointments, documenting ADL tasks using the To-Do All indicator, documenting tasks that were not completed using the To-Do in Comp indicator, documenting restorative care, sending messages to other users using the message envelope, documenting completed tasks for patients not assigned to you, the use of the tower functions, View All, Refresh, and Network, logging out of the POCS.